experience yourself, and with a very, very tight budget, how do you plan to be an instructional leader that this district needs to improve student outcomes when you don't have a lot of money to go hire a bunch of other people to do that job that often a superintendent will do if they have the background and if they can inspire the leaders in the district and the staff?
It's a really, really good question. So, first of all, it's, I don't pretend to be the knower of all things. I recognize that there are strengths that I bring to positions and there's weaknesses that I bring to positions. As far as the question around the budget and how we're going to be able to influence those outcomes, I think that's where we have, frankly, the ability to be an outsider and to look at this district, with a fresh set of eyes, can be helpful. And because what I'm seeing now by just looking at this district with a fresh set of eyes is places where if we're strategic about where we put people. So we're looking at, for example, our instructional coaches, for example, which from all reports did a great job improving student outcomes in our K-6 buildings. I think we should continue to do those things.
But my question is, how can you be the instructional leader for your instructional coaches? I don't know if you can.
Yeah, so I think that what I'm saying is, I look at this from the macro level, right? There are superintendents that walk in and they've got years of teaching and principalship experience, and they walk in and they have all sorts of gravitas with their instructional staff, right? That happens. I'm not that person. I'm not claiming to be. So what I'm going to be doing is leveraging the strengths that I have. I'm going to get a little bit intellectual for just a second to explain my next point, but I apologize about that. So there's a book called The Competitive Advantage of Patients by a guy named Michael Porter. He's a Harvard professor of business. He's got a BBA. He's got a doctorate in business administration. He's helped lead thousands of companies, nearly half the Fortune 500, and countries and all sorts of things. One of the things that book talks about is recognizing your strengths. And that just come from the individual, but also includes the organizational strengths. And so right now I'm doing an analysis of this district to recognize what our strengths are and what things we can do to leverage those strengths. Can I walk into a classroom and be the instructional leader the way that you would envision it being? Probably not. But I don't think that's necessary. Here's why, because teachers tell me they're professionals, and I believe them. And every professional that I know doesn't need someone to lead them who can do their job at their very best. What I can also say is, what makes education so different? That's a question that I would ask. What makes education different? We see in every other sector, in every other industry, in the post-secondary world, where leaders come in with no on-the-ground experience and take over. Look at President Green at the University of Idaho. He never worked in the post-secondary world before he took over that position. Do we see his professors, saying, I can't work for this guy because he didn't ever teach? No, they haven't, because they recognize that he brings in a set of skills that are valuable to the organization. We can't be all things to all people, and I'm not going to try. But what I will do is I will double down on the things that I know that I'm good at and make sure that I use those to the benefit of this district.